Good morning all, welcome to the Wave Chat with our special guest today, David Moore. Welcome David.
Welcome James, thank you.
So just quickly, what do you actually do here at Taunton?
What do I do? I've been with,
or what don't you do?
been with the property committee for a number of years now, and I chair that committee.
Yeah.
Also on the church council, and that's been on the executive of that. So that's a broad summary.
Yes.
In terms of positions, but basically over the last 12 or 18 months, been involved in the church and trying to, particularly over the last 6 months, deal with the consequences of the COVID.
That would have been a lot of fun. We'll come back to that, but before we do that, we're going to go right back. Yeah, not right back because you're not that old. But where do you come from, David?
I was actually born in Canberra and grew up on a grazing property on the outskirts of Canberra, which straddled the New South Wales border.
Yeah. And
had that there. That was a property that was run by Dad and his brother.
Okay.
So it was a country town. Canberra was at that stage was a country town.
Yeah.
And we had to catch the school bus, which was an hour to get into into Canberra.
Committed student.
Committed student.
Yes.
Although whenever it rained, I slept in a veranda which had a good view. And whenever there was heavy rain, the first thing we did in the morning was to check the creek, because if the creek was up, we couldn't get across the creek to catch the bus. So that was always a good fun.
And so, when did you move up from Canberra? What happened after there?
Oh, it's I basically work-wise worked for a while in Canberra with the Bureau of Agricultural Economics. I studied at the University of New England and got a Bachelor of Agricultural Economics degree. Okay. And we did various surveys then within the agricultural industries. I basically had a period overseas. I joined the Australian Trade Commissioner Service, and that was operating under the Department of Trade. And I had postings into Rome for 3 years.
Rome?
Into Belgrade.
Did you visit the Vatican?
We visited the Vatican.
What was that like?
It was an amazing experience. Yeah, it was, and into the Sistine Chapel. That was before they cleaned it. The Vatican itself and walking around there was just totally amazing. Just living in Rome with the old style architecture, still cobblestone streets, and then dealing with Roman traffic.
That would have been fun. When was this?
I was there in the mid-70s.
Okay.
Yeah, we married the first wife. We had a young daughter, Jane.
Oh yeah.
She attended a Montessori preschool.
Oh yes.
And it was great fun because within a short period of time she was bilingual.
Gee.
And she could talk to...
At what age?
Up to 3.
Wow.
And she could, as a youngster, knew that little kids spoke Italian and big people spoke English. So she handled that.
Can you speak Italian too?
A few words.
A few words?
Yeah.
So how many children do you have?
I have 3. But with that was with my first wife. With Tricia, I've now picked up 2 stepkids, so we've now got a family of 5.
Brady bunch.
Brady bunch. Yeah.
Very good. So what's the breakup of boys and girls there?
Well, I've got 2 girls and a boy.
Oh yeah.
And
what do they do?
Jane's my eldest, and she's living in Brighton, Victoria.
Oh yes.
She works with at the moment the National Bank, and but she's just moved to Brighton the last couple of years, and otherwise she was in Melbourne.
Yeah, lucky.
Yeah. youngest daughter, Kate's in Sydney, and she's married there to Miles, who runs a landscape design business.
Okay.
And my son, Chris, is also a landscape architect designer, and he's down the Gold Coast.
So what's your yard like?
Well, it surprised me when Chris said he was going to study landscape architecture, because originally he was going to study physical movements, because he was a bit of a sporting kid. I think having to learn the parts of the human body by their Latin names was a bit challenging. So, and he liked surfing and so forth. So at the age of late 20s, he was told to get on with his degree, and he decided to switch. And when he said he was going to do landscape design, I said, "I've never got you to be able to mow a lawn in your life." So, yeah, no, he's all the three kids have not been impacted all that greatly by COVID. They're working well.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So answering the question, did you end up getting him to at least mow your lawn, or did they design like a Japanese garden or something? Or?
No, Chris was alright. He helped me do some mulching at one stage. So.
That's good.
Yes, he ordered the amount of mulch, and then we got to work and spread it around the garden. So
very good.
Yeah.
And you're married to lovely Tricia, who's from my hometown.
Yes, she was down in Wynnum or later, I think.
Wynnum, Manly, later. It's all the same.
It's all the same in that area.
Yeah.
Yes, she's got two kids. Jess, who lives just down at Marucci River.
Oh yeah.
And then Jeremy, who works down or lives down in Brisbane.
Okay.
So they're relatively close. Mine is scattered.
Yeah, well, that makes it fun once you can fly to places like Victoria and everything, and New South Wales. Can we fly to New South Wales yet?
I don't know.
I get confused.
Yeah. I think you can. I think you can get out of Queensland. The problem is getting back again.
That's right. That's right. But, so that'd be good to do that, bit of variety to see them and have quality time, I guess. Yeah,
well, that's the last time I saw Jane was over 12 months ago when we did some caravanning and caught up with her down there. Kate was also 12 months ago. So
okay. But, so you caravan around the place, is that right?
Yeah. Well, we just had 5 weeks. We went up north.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we missed you for a while.
Yeah, it was no use going south.
I thought it was something I did because I got here and then all of a sudden you were gone.
Yeah, picked up. Yeah, well,
so I thought,
I needed a break. Yeah.
You needed a break. Yeah, and in terms of your sporting life, did you have a sporting life? Being a country boy normally.
Yeah, I mean, growing up, cricket and football. And I went to.
What type of football?
Rugby union.
Okay. Sort of got half of it right then.
Yeah.
The rugby part.
Yeah, you were waiting for me to say another word after that.
League.
Yeah,
that's right. That's fine.
So I went to school at Scott's School in Bathurst, and that's we had good sports there. Did you
like? Speaking of Bathurst, did you like Bathurst? Did you like your cars? Ford man, Holden man.
Yeah, well, I've been a Ford man, and because that's what Dad had.
Same.
Ford, yeah. But the school is located on the Sydney side of Bathurst, and when the Bathurst 500, as it was then, was being raced, I was still at school because we lived in Canberra, so it wasn't worthwhile going for the long weekend back home and back again. So I stayed there. And memories actually of as the night darkened after the race, you could see a stream of headlights from the top of Mount Panorama right down Conrod Strait and working their way through Bathurst and back to Sydney. Yeah, it's an amazing place, that Bathurst. Like I remember going there with Ford Motor Company back in 2002, the only time I've ever been there. And at the end of the race, like all the Ford people were devastated because it was 1, 2, 3 Holden that year, and I
was with Ford, and we looked up at the mountain on our bus on the way out, and it was like a scene from Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. Like there was burning tyres, there was cardboard up there. I'm thinking, wow, let's get out of here. But it's an amazing place. You don't realise